Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about going back to the gym. It's been like 3 months since I went to the gym and I've lost basically all the muscle I gained in the past year. Not that I had much anyway, but people's expectations of how much muscle they can gain is warped by like these like steroid maxing manlets. You see them at the gym with like just bulging muscles, so big that they can't even reach around to like scratch their back or something. They can't sleep, they can't put on like a t-shirt or anything without like a whole crew of people like winching it on them, and their hair falls out because of the steroids, and they get this like roid rage, and they just lose their shit over the most minor inconvenience. And these guys are like all over social media as well, and they just ruin people's expectations of what they can achieve in like a year at the gym. But yeah, I lost all the muscle I gained pretty much. I'm back to being like skinny fat again, which sucks, but I mean that's why I went back. And that's the one thing about the gym that actually annoys me though, really, and it's the people that go. You'll find just some of the strangest looking individuals at the gym, man. I swear to God, like balding manlets, like bald cells there. I think there's more like manlets at the gym than normal society because they're trying to make up for their height. It's like any red pill like coach or red pill dating instructor will tell you, like if you're short, work out so you can get in better shape. If you're bald, work out so you're in better shape, because it makes up for it. It doesn't make up for shit, guys. It doesn't matter at all. I'll get to some brutal black pill stories in just a minute, but rest assured, it does not do shit. But you see them. You also see like these bug-eyed people, like eyes popping out their fucking heads as they like work out. Old like boomers there who just like hog the machines. They take fucking ages. Just absolute subhumans. So I guess I'm right at home. The problem with having like so many subhumans in one space is they stop caring about acting civilized. So for example, I was there last Friday. Last Friday was the first day I went back to the gym, right? So a week ago now, and I was heading into the locker room. I just arrived and I was heading into the locker room, and as soon as I opened the door, I was just confronted with like a face full of cock. These two pot-bellied, hairy boomers were having like a full-blown conversation right in the front of the locker room door, in front of this TV, and the void ball was on the screen, and one of the guys was there. I kid you not, you guys, he was saying something like, it's a shame people don't take women's football seriously, isn't it? He was saying this to the other guy. Meanwhile, one of them is completely naked, chest hair showing, pot belly hanging down, like a literal fucking beer cut resting over this guy's dick, totally bald. This guy could have been like 40 to like a full-on boomer. Either way, the Norwood Reaper came for this dude's hair, and he showed no mercy to this guy. It was brutal. And it's like, I just walked in on that, and it's like, have some decency, but fucking hell. The absolute state of like just bloated Brit cells is so brutal. It really is. There's something about like British bloat maxes that's more brutal than other countries. I don't know, because they just stuff themselves with slop. Like the other night, I was up real late getting a snack, like 2 a.m, and I was in my kitchen just going through the drawers and shit, and I had these two guys outside like fighting. These motherfuckers were arguing about God knows what shit at 2 in the goddamn morning. I don't know what they were arguing about, but it's like it's just uncivilized here. People, maybe it's the steroids. It makes people fucking roid rage. It goes to the brain. I don't know. Fuck, it's unbelievable. But I just heard them in the street. You fucking what, man? What the fuck do you think you're doing? Give me my fucking money. It's like, what the fuck, bro? It's 2 a.m. What the hell? It's just the IQ of this country is dropping probably. But yeah, for like a week now, I've been on this beef diet. Where I eat beef with salt, and I drink water, and that's it. And you see all these stupid fad diets like this one. I was speaking to this one motherfucker who ate just a bunch of raw liver and made himself sick as shit. It's like those fad diets always prey on stupid people who don't know anything about food, like especially older women, like, oh my god, guys, the amount of time I've heard my mum talk about some stupid diet she's decided to start, and it's just a bunch of slop, but they advertise it in like a healthy way, and these like just idiots fall for it. I don't know. And that's the thing though, is everyone shits on fat people for eating slop, and I used to do the same, but you have to realise like a lot of these people don't know any better. It's like, if you never get taught what good food is and bad food is, you don't know. You're just slop bags, especially if that's the only shit around, like in like the deep south of America. Like, what's this, Kentucky Fried Chicken? That sounds healthy. Chicken's good for you, ain't it? And it happens here too, you know. It's like, it's all just a bunch of bullshit these people put in their fucking mouths because they don't know any better, you know. Just absolute bloke maxes. And the thing is, my mum loves watching these shows about fat people, like Biggest Loser is her favourite. It's like about these fat people, and they go to this like camp and they lose weight and shit, or supposedly anyway. But it's not the only one. She watches a bunch of this crap. And the thing I find sort of funny is my mum's been a continual loss at losing weight since I was born, and she blames that shit on me, you know. She's like, oh, because I had a C-section, I had all this loose skin, it's because I was pregnant, I can't lose weight, it's your fault, all that kind of shit. Meanwhile, she just sits on the sofa watching TV, eating like some Chinese takeaway or Indian takeaway or something, you know, real slop shit, just brown, beige and yellow slopped into these plastic containers. And it's even worse at my family gatherings because they always just get like fast food from a drive-through, like slop Donald's, a big slop with slop fries and chicken slop nuggets, grease leaking through the fucking paper bags. It's always one person's responsibility to bring home the fast food to these gatherings. It's just brutal, you know. And I see like the kids eating that, like that's the shit that's really brutal, is the kids eating as well, because it's the adults, it's like fair enough. If you see a fat couple walking down the street or like whatever, but it's when you see a couple of fat kids like waddling after them that you think that's not fair, come on, you know. But there's another thing I hate about this country as well, and it's my accent. Now, I can't stand the British accent, you know. Most people, let's face it, especially Americans, they think there's only really one British accent, you know, but there's actually quite a lot of variety, even just in England, let alone the rest of the country. And it's like, I just fucking hate my accent. I don't know, because since it makes me sound like a bit of a twat, to be honest. I don't know. I have no way of knowing this, obviously, but I'm pretty sure if I had like an American accent or something like that, my channel would be like bigger than it is, or more popular than it is, you know what I'm saying? It's all just about luck, really, anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like when you see videos about how to grow a channel, you know, 10 tips for new YouTubers, how to grow a YouTube channel, sub for sub, bro, sub for sub, that kind of shit. And all that kind of stuff, it's all just luck, you know. And the fact is, 99% of people will fail when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like, I want to start a YouTube channel, I want to, like, if you ask a kid what they want to do, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a streamer, I want to be like an influencer or something. I doubt kids are saying that, but, you know, it's like 99.9% of them are going to fail before they even start. Like, it's over before it even began for them, and it's because of luck, you know. That's what the black pill really is. It's all about luck. It's all about who you're born as, you know. And it's, I don't know, whatever. And people like say I'm like British DBDR, which I take as a compliment, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter. You know, it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. That's another thing people say to me as well that annoys the shit out of me, and it's like, oh, your voice isn't that bad, your voice and your cadence are attractive, bro. And the brutal thing is, even if that were true, my voice is constantly ruined by me constantly being like allergic to everything, you know. It's like I'm the definition of a sick cell. And obviously the most attractive voice in the world wouldn't mean shit anyway, because it comes with the sub 5 male in my case, but even so, my voice is constantly nasally and whiny. It's like, I wish my nose wasn't blocked so much. I don't even go outside and I'm still allergic. I'm allergic to grass, I'm allergic to like animals and shit. It's like, my voice is so unattractive because of that, but you know, whatever. Another thing about British people I find kind of funny though, are these boomers who are like, they're stuck in the old days. Like, the way these old ass boomers talk, you'd think the British Empire was still around, you know, or some shit like that. Like, I went to Portsmouth with my mum a while ago now, and I went up this tower. It's called like the Spinnaker Tower. It's like this giant observation tower in the city, and there were like a bunch of these Chinese tourists just looking at this harbour. And the thing about Portsmouth Harbour is it's like the main base for the Royal Navy's like aircraft carriers or whatever, and you see all these Chinese people looking at them. And I was in the elevator on the way down, and this old like Brit cell boomer, this bloke Max guy, you know, beer gut hanging out, he whispered in my ear as we were going down the elevator. He's like, you see all those Chinese, they're spying on these carriers, they're reporting back to China, they're going to come over here, learn from our schools, and then go back with the expertise to use it in weapons against us, and all this kind of shit. I just didn't even know what to say to that. I was just like, you know, I just nod along, because it's like, what are you even meant to say? Like, what does he want me to say to that? You know, just crazy shit. But it's like, this is something that these boomers just cannot accept, and it's like, I'm sure there are people like this in every country, but it's even more brutal in England, because it's like, Britain has not been a relevant country for so long. It's like, it's over, you know. They're like, oh, the Chinese are coming here, they're stealing our secret. It's like, they don't give a fuck about us, dude, you know. It's like England is like the most black-pilled country. If countries with people, England would be like a black-pilled incel, you know. That's why it's so brutal. Like, at least America's irrelevant, you know. England's like it's like a forgotten wasteland, you know. But when I was in Portsmouth, this is a side story. I know I'm meant to be talking about the gym, but I took just an absolutely brutal black pill. I was in this like fucking bar with my mum at like 6 PM. It's called what's it called? It was called the Slug and Lettuce. It's this bar in Portsmouth. It's just like a normie bar. It's your typical like Gen Z place, and I have no idea why she wanted to go in there, but we went in, and there was this like she wanted to take this chair from this table, but this girl was sitting there. I mean, she was about my age, but she was just like, no, that shit's taken, you can't take that. And my mum was like, oh, okay, and walks away. And as I'm following her, I noticed this girl just fucking staring me down. Like, I'm shit on the bottom of a toilet, you know, she was literally staring me down. And I didn't know what to do, so I just shrugged. I was like, oh, it's okay, like, I don't know. And on the way out, my mum was like, oh my god, did you see that girl? You know, she was so cute, she was totally checking you out, she winked at you. And guys, let me say, like, I know for a fucking fact that this girl was not looking at me because she was interested, you know. At best, maybe I got a sympathy wink, but I didn't even see that shit myself, so who knows if she even winked at me, you know. But yeah, I was just like, no, I don't think so, whatever. Because, I mean, what the fuck am I meant to say, guys? Like, my mum just needs to accept that I'm a failure at this point, to be honest, but, you know, whatever. So like I was saying, I went to the gym last Friday for the first time in months and months, just so long, you know, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I mentioned I've got like bloat max recently. I wasn't like fat, but I was pretty bloated, so I thought I'd start by going on the treadmill just to lose weight. And like I said, I'm doing this stupid fucking beef diet, so I'm at like a calorie deficit. And that's the thing about all these dumb fad diets. People are like, oh, I did the keto diet, I did the paleo diet, whatever the fuck that is. You know, I heard about this diet on Bald Rogan's podcast, and, you know, I lost loads of weight, you know. And it's like, you only lose weight when you eat less calories than you gain, you know. And this is what I mean about people who don't know about the basics of food, but whatever. But yeah, I went on this treadmill, and I just ran for as long as I could, you know. And I was thinking about this David Goggins guy. You guys probably know who he is. He's like, the thing about David Goggins is he puts himself through absolute hell. This guy's like ripping apart his legs, like running non-stop for days to the point where he shits all down his leg and his back. And he goes online and he tells these stories like proudly, and he's like, you know, all the red pill motherfuckers are like, yeah, you gotta work hard, bro, build mental resilience, bro, look at David Goggins, look at Andrew Tate, bro, they don't complain, they just work, you know. And it's like, as always, it's just the same fucking advice these people give again and again, and it never works, you know. But yeah, I was on the treadmill, and I decided for whatever reason just to run as fast as I could, as long as I could, and I put the speed to 10, whether it's 10 like kilometers an hour, miles per hour, I don't know, but I just ran and ran. And on the treadmill it has this like little counter that tells you how long you've been running for, and by the time I was finished, I'd been running for like over 30 minutes, and my legs were just turned to mush, you know. They like, there was this huge steroid max black guy on one of the treadmills like next to me, and he was panting and shit after like 10 minutes or so. Like, imagine the strain on this guy's fucking heart as he was running. Gym bros will get mad at bloat maxes for not going to the gym because being fat is like unhealthy or whatever. But the thing is, they never tell you. They'll shoot a bunch of fucking chemicals into them to make their muscles grow. Like, this dude's arms were thicker than my actual body, and he was glistening like he was covered in grease or something, like a greasy piece of meat or something like that. This guy was literally Grease Tyrese, and he was like running there, and it's like his heart was about to give out. Being like a huge steroid max bodybuilder is probably about as bad for your heart as being like obese, but you know, these gym bros will never tell you that. But yeah, I got off this fucking treadmill and my legs just collapsed under me, so for like the past week I've just been unable to walk properly without like hobbling around. I basically resorted to walking on all fours like Gollum or some shit from Lord of the Rings, but you know, it's the only way I can get around. And of course my fucking mum makes fun of me for that shit while she's like sitting on the sofa with her like crumbs spilled all over her watching this show, you know, laughing at me because I went to the gym. That's the thing about self-improvement as well. People are like, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, self-improve, bro. It's like, no one in your life is going to support you with that shit. People will put you down if you try and do that. So I mean, don't bother. I'm not saying don't bother, but I'm just saying it makes it harder. It's like, why the fuck do people do that? If you're in a shit, depressed situation, people will be like, oh, just get better, bro, just, it's your fault, and they'll make it worse. It's like, if you have a physical injury, people don't start beating you up afterwards to make it worse. So why do they do it with like mental illness? I don't know. I mean, I'm used to my mum making fun of me, so it is what it is, but my mum also recommends a bunch of stupid shit to try and help my legs like heal faster or something, like a bunch of dumb shit only women believe, you know. Like months ago when I asked for therapy from my mum, and she sent me to this stupid like star sign chakra like hippie bitch, and she gave me like this cream for my legs this time, and obviously it didn't do shit, but I had to like rub it on, and she was like, oh, it'll make him feel better. Obviously it didn't do anything. and she was like, have a bath, it'll make you feel better, you know, it'll make the legs hurt less. So I had this warm bath, and I've had one for every evening for the past week. And needless to say, that didn't do a fucking thing for my legs, but I will say that bath maxing is actually a pretty good cope, and there's something, you know, about getting in the warm water with all the bubbles and stuff that's really relaxing. Yeah, I don't know what it is, it just feels nice, I don't know. But my point is, I'm basically making is this David Goggins guy puts himself through hell. Like I said, he puts himself through like literal hell every single day, and for what, you know? It's like you run so much that you had to stop your leg falling apart with like sticky tape and stuff, and you shat all down your back, and it's like, what do you win? You don't win anything. These red pillar chads and these coping normies who are coping their fucking nuts off never explain how basically torturing yourself every day will ever get you a girlfriend or improve your life in any way. And the same goes for the idea of going on like a dopamine detox. But that's got to be one of the dumbest ideas I've ever heard to fucking improve your life. The logic is like, oh, your life is miserable and you only have a couple of copes that keep you from like roping basically, so let's get rid of all those copes so you appreciate your life more. It makes no fucking sense. If you're a high tier normie or chadlite and your life is pretty good, and you start to get bored of it, then maybe it's a good idea, you know. But if you're sub 5, there's no way a dopamine detox is going to make your life any better. And let me just say, like, if you start to get bored of your quote unquote good life, then your life probably isn't that good anyway. Like, you think some multi-millionaire gets bored of being rich? Obviously fucking not. The stereotype of depressed and cynical rich people is just like put out by the media to convince poor people that money isn't like the solution. And it's like, I'm not saying money would solve my problems, because my problems are probably beyond solving at this point, but I'm just saying 99% of people who are miserable, more money would solve all of their problems pretty much, or at least the majority of them. Whatever. But anyway, what I was saying was bath maxing is honestly a very enjoyable cope that I've discovered, and the only issue is that when I get in a warm bath, it gives me like really bad dandruff, like dead skin in my hair that all falls out. It's like, I don't know why. It doesn't really matter since I never go out anyway, but it's annoying as fuck. It's like itchy and shit the next day. It's like, even if I wash my hair, it doesn't do shit, you know. Like, I have a shower after my bath, it doesn't do it. It doesn't do shit. It doesn't help, you know. It just keeps falling out, and that shit sucks, because being in the bath is actually really nice. I spend probably like an hour every evening just thinking about shit, you know, like daydream coping, which is a brutal cope, because like you're brought crashing back down to reality afterwards. But the thing about daydream coping is you can imagine any scenario you want, so it's a good cope while it lasts. Like a big high and then a big like crash afterwards, I guess. But yeah, just like fake scenarios in my head and shit, imagining a better life. But also thinking about shit. Like, sometimes I think I come up with pretty clever stuff. Like the other night I had this realization about like makeup, and this shit is just a brutal black pill to any like low tier Beckies who try to make up for their appearance with makeup. You hear all the time about the pressure society puts on women to look a certain way, or the patriarchy, or whatever stupid shit. But then if you ever criticise women for wearing makeup, or say you prefer a woman without it, which I personally do, not that I have any preferences really, that matter anyway. But if you say that, then a bunch of women, and like obviously the soy cuck or like white knights, will come in and fill up your fucking comment section with shit like, oh, we don't do it for you, we do it for ourselves because it makes us confident and all this shit. It's like, first off, if you do something to make you feel more confident, that's the definition of doing it for someone else. But it's like, pick one, you know. It's like, is makeup some empowering shit, or is it unfair pressure from society? I don't know. I think I come up with some pretty clever shit when I'm in the bath. But anyway, but the really brutal thing is that when I'm in the bath, I'm the second happiest I am during my day, you know. And the time I'm the most happy is when I'm asleep. I remember as a teenager, I'd heard about this shit called like lucid dreaming or whatever, and it's like, I try so fucking hard to do that every single night. So if you don't know what it is, basically they're like these dreams where you realise you're dreaming so you can control what happens in them. And I just wanted the power of lucid dreaming to escape my just depressing reality, you know, as brutal as that sounds. But to this day I've never had any success with it. But regardless, I still enjoy sleeping, you know, just because it's a break from reality. It's like, I heard this quote someone posted, I don't remember where, but I remember reading it, and it said something like your nightmare ends when you wake up, mine just begins. And that shit sounds so fucking corny, you know. It sounds so dumb, but honestly it's kind of true from the state I'm in. I don't know. So yeah, gym maxing is pretty much a complete fucking waste of time for me anyway, just because the people who use the gym make it such an unbearable experience. And I haven't even talked about the sheer amount of mogging that takes place in the gym. Like, oh my god, you guys, it's absolutely fucking brutal out there. And the worst of it in my experience happens in the free weight section, since everyone's kind of crammed in there together, so you see all different types of people mixing together, like Chads and Stacey's mixing with the absolute worst subhumans you've ever seen. Oh my god. Like I said, I haven't been back in the free weights yet. I only went on the treadmill, but this shit happened like months ago, like back in April. But I was on this bench in this free weights area, and these manlets were working out like a bit across from me. And let me tell you guys, these dudes were jacked as shit, literally ripped. I think I might have talked about this before, but I don't even think they were like steroid maxing, because you know, sometimes you can just tell from the way the muscle looks and shit. It's been developed over time, but these guys, you know, they were on these machines, spotting each other or whatever, like lifting weights and shit. And the brutal thing is, you know, despite the fact that their physiques were better than any other person in the gym, easily by far the best in the whole gym, it didn't matter, because they were balding manlets and their eyes were like popping out their heads as they worked. They were sweating their asses off, and it's all for nothing, you know, because 10 minutes after I sat down, these two guys walked in, tall as shit, mushroom hair, you know, young guys, shirtless. Before they'd even started working out, they'd taken their shirts off for some reason, and both of these motherfuckers had a Stacy around his arm as they walked in, so there were 4 of them in total, and they just came in. And the thing is, these guys weren't even ripped. Like, I don't know why the fuck they had their shirts off, because they weren't showing off anything, they just had a normal physique. But they sat down, they started working out, and these girls basically just watched. And I just... oh my fucking god, bro, there's no way, it's over. Absolutely brutal. These motherfuckers took like half the dumbbells from the rack for their circuit as well, so I couldn't even get the weights I wanted, so I just sat there watching these guys, waiting for them to be done, just flabbergasted at the sheer scale of mogging taking place right in front of my very eyes. Oh my god. After a while I just got up and I went home, and I think so did the manlets as well, but these kind of like high tier normies, chadlites and chads are the main reason I avoid the free weight section, to be honest, because, you know, the thing about, people say, oh, it's about personality, not looks. Here's the thing, it's the ugly like subhumans in the gym, like these manlets. They're the friendliest people you'll ever meet. Go up to these guys and talk to these guys. Like, people think I'm shitting on these guys. I'm not. Like, I like these people. Like, these manlets, these subhumans, I'm one of them, you know. These sub-5s, they're some of the friendliest people you've ever met. And these, like, chads are some of the, like, just biggest dicks you'll ever meet as well. But the thing is, people are like, oh, it's about personality, not looks. It's like, it doesn't even make any fucking sense, first of all, because personality is influenced by your looks anyway. But it's just not true. From experience, we all know someone who's very, you know, a very nice person, but they're ugly, and so it's over for them, you know. It's just, we just know, it's just intuitive. But yeah, that was absolutely brutal to see that happen, you know. That's one of the main things putting me off from going back to the free weight section, but I'll probably do that next time. But yeah, now my legs have healed. Well, healed, they stopped aching so much, so I can go back to the gym. I was put out of action for like a whole week. Like, I only went to the gym once so far. But yeah, in conclusion, trying to gym max if you're sub 5 is like trying to polish the wheels on a car that's got no engine. You know, it's like polishing a turd, basically. It doesn't do anything. I mean, look, if you want to go to the gym and work out to get bigger muscles because bodybuilding is your passion or whatever, it's a fun cope, I don't know. I'm not saying don't do it. You know, do it if you want to do it. Like, if you think that will help you ascend, or you want to just have fun, like, go for it, you know. I'm not telling anyone else what to do, you know. But I don't find it fun like I used to. I don't find anything fun that I used to find fun. Like, even like back at the start of the year, I at least found going to the gym kind of fun, but now it's just like, I just can't be fucking asked to do it, man. You know, I guess even the places that black pillars traditionally see as like places to go, like gyms and stuff, they can just go there and cope in peace. You know, that's not safe from normies anymore, you know. Yeah, pretty brutal. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it.